See, thing is, little old
Bruh.
racism, couple of little racist tropes. That was enough for the Raiders to have Jon Gruden remain as their head coach on Sunday. Oh, but once the Times got word of emails spanning a 7-year period that included sexist, homophobic, and misogynistic language, oh, well, you no longer can represent the brand, and your services are no longer required, Jon Gruden. So Jon Gruden out last night, shook up the entire NFL world, ironically fired during Monday Night Football, got fired on his day off. And so here we are. And Michael, you know how people say journalism is dying? How about PR?
Yeah.
Because either Jon Gruden doesn't have a publicist or he doesn't listen to his publicist, because he doubled down with another half-ass apology issued through the Raiders. I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raider Nation. I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt anyone, close quote. Wrong D word, bruh. Wrong D word. This isn't a distraction. You are a disgrace. You are a detriment to progress, to inclusivity. Okay, you are disrespecting the legacy of Al Davis. You are no longer, you tarnish the shield, as they say. And you tarnish the shield, as they say. Okay? So this isn't about being a distraction. That's that football mentality. I don't want to be a distraction. This is bigger than you, Jon Gruden, which we'll get to momentarily. But Michael, I'd love to just know your initial reaction. Yesterday, we were sitting here responding to what we thought was one email and one group that he went at. Turns out Jon Gruden had issues with everybody. He had a lot of skeletons in his closet. Not just a racist bone, but skeletons. Yeah.
Everybody. As I said to Doc Johnson last night, I was texting with him. He's a diversity, equity, and inclusion vigilante. Like he just took out everybody. Like, so it's not just black folks. He got a problem with black folks. He got a problem with women. He has a problem with homosexuals. He has a problem with anybody who doesn't agree with him and have the worldview that he has from the very platform that he sits on. And speaking of the platform, bruh, why are you so angry? He's just an angry little man. Look, I love Marcus Thompson III. Thank you, Marcus. I know writers don't always write the headlines, but the key word in that headline there is betrayed. Jon Gruden, you're a sellout. He's a sellout. You know, there are so many people, Mike, and you've met them.
It's a fraud.
Absolutely, fraud. There are so many people in the profession, you've met them, and so have I, who have really worked hard to get to the position that they're at in the National Football League. A lot of them are coaches, assistant coaches, general managers, and I'll even say, even though a lot of people don't say nice things about them all the time, I'll even say owners. Like every owner wasn't born with a silver spoon. Every owner didn't just like have it like that from birth. Some of them really worked hard and got some breaks and understand that they got some breaks. And they don't think they're smart just because they fell into a league where if you just mind your P's and Q's, you're going to make a lot of money. So there are a lot of people in this business who are in it for the right reasons, who really want to bring people together, who really want to lead all kinds of people and really want to learn and are curious. And Jon Gruden sitting there working for ESPN, like there's no excuse. It's not like you were personally affected. Your team was personally affected. He had no team. He's working for Monday Night Football. He's making millions of dollars. He's got one of the most powerful platforms in all of sports. Millions of people listening to him, millions of people being entertained by him, educated by him. And all he does, the pattern of emails, all he does is just sit behind the scenes and just throw darts and haymakers at every sign of progress and every development that goes against his very limited, very narrow worldview. Sell out. Like football's not, that's not really what it is. I heard some people talking last night. I was at at the studio in Boston last night, and one of our producers, female producers, said very cynically, hey, we shouldn't be surprised because what Jon Gruden is saying, hey, a lot of people say that, it's the NFL. And I said, no. The NFL, this is not seventh grade football at the local corner. This is a business. This is a multi-billion-dollar business. And I understand there are some owners who think that way and some owners who talk that way. But for the most part, if you want to be successful at your business, you cannot allow somebody
no question,
to kind of push those thoughts.
And that's why he's out, because it's bad for the brand.
Yeah, and you know, I'd say this, Mike. Not only clearly is he a racist, not only is he a misogynist, not only is he a homophobe, he's a liar. He's a liar. And for him, you said it perfectly yesterday, where he can sit there and he thinks he can determine where the story begins, where the middle of the story is, and where the story ends. It's crazy to me. He sat there. I don't know what exactly he said to those players, but he didn't tell them the truth. What he said to ESPN, he tried to leverage his relationship with his former employer and try to skew the story in a certain direction. He lied. He lied trying to think that he could save his job and save his reputation. I'm so disturbed by his behavior and those he's connected to.
Well, that's what
Jon Gruden.
Well, that's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get to.
I'll just say, I'm gonna toss it to you on this. I'll just say this: Jon Gruden is a three-time head coach in the NFL. Bruce Allen has been the general manager, essentially, of the Raiders, of the Buccaneers, and the Washington football team. Why am I saying that? These people get opportunities. The sick-minded, twisted, very small people get opportunities, yet there are hardworking folks out there at all levels of the NFL who are trying to get into this club, who are trying to prove themselves, and people at the highest levels allow this to happen and ignore those who are legitimately trying to do it the right way. It's disappointing and it's disheartening.
It is the NFL. A couple of things. It is the NFL, but it's not just the NFL. Like I said yesterday, this is society at large. The NFL is as big as it still is a microcosm of something that has affected and infected society since the founding of this country. Okay? It's been said that racism is so American until when you protest racism, people think you're anti-America. And so the thing about racism is a lot like Hydra. You cut off one head and two take its place. So Jon Gruden's out of a job. Fine. Now what? You know, because this fight within the NFL, remember, it takes all of us. Let's not forget, it takes all of us. This fight within the NFL cannot end with the dismissal of Jon Gruden. That's too swift and that's too easy. It's a much dirtier, much messier, much more uncomfortable fight, to your point, Michael, to take down the entire network in which he operated. Okay? A couple of things I just want to touch on. I mean, the thing about Jon Gruden, one other thing you didn't call him is a dinosaur, because I long suspected that the game had passed him by. I didn't know the world had passed him by. Jon Gruden is a dinosaur. I've long since suspected that the game passed him by. I didn't know the world and society had passed him by as well. But a couple of things I want to get off my chest in no particular order. We talked a lot yesterday. A lot's happened since yesterday. Let me start with DeMaurice Smith, where this all started. And we could take every offense one by one, but in particular, DeMaurice Smith and the idea, see, a lot of people latched on to the lips the size of Michelin tires racist trope. And the DeMaurice Smith bothered me more than that one, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because the idea that DeMaurice Smith is dumb is idiotic in and of itself. DeMaurice Smith is one of the most intelligent, one of the most accomplished, one of the most successful attorneys in the country, and cannot achieve this position in life. Hey, newsflash for Jon Gruden and people who think like him. We don't get nowhere in life. Black people don't do jack in this life without being 2 or 3 times as good or doing 2 or 3 times as much. But here's a mediocre white man want to call DeMaurice Smith dumb. That's number one. Number two, speaking of dumb, speaking of idiotic, all right? You know what's idiotic is this conspiracy theory that I've seen trafficked about how this was leaked. Out of all the 650,000 emails, this was leaked not only to take down Jon Gruden, but to help DeMaurice Smith achieve re-election.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. An insult to DeMaurice Smith's intelligence is now being used to further insult the collective intelligence of NFL players who you believe are going to cast their vote for a union executive director based on trying to stick it to the man?
Yeah.
So we all just going to stick together and vote for the brother because we mad because, shocking, an NFL coach is racist. And come to find out, misogynistic, homophobic, and sexist as well.
And everything. Everything.
I mean, that's insulting in and of itself. And a couple other things. We talked about racist bones yesterday, Michael. You broke down, I remember you said it ain't a racist bone, it's a racist spirit. I want to talk about, and you referenced this earlier, the racist rescue squad. And you also talked yesterday about the inherent forgiveness that we as black people default to.
Tell me about it, bro. Yes.
There are always black people on standby at the ready. Just like there are always women on standby, on speed dial to say that a man was never inappropriate. They were never inappropriate around me. There's no way he could be a rapist or commit sexual assault. He was never that way with me. There are so many black people cannot wait to cape up and say what a white person is or isn't, because he ain't never been that way around you. Well, if in there is, I ain't seen it. So since you ain't never seen him be racist, he can't be racist. Come on now.
Exactly.
Like, retire from the racist rescue squad. The pay ain't worth it. The price ain't worth it. Okay? That's all I got for now. You got anything else? I don't want to ramble.
Hey, look. Hey, you're not rambling. Hey, listen, everything you said is spot on. And can I just say one more thing? One more thing. You talk about the network, and you're talking about the network of the Good Old Boys Club. The Good Old Boys Club where Bruce Allen can write from his work email in a toxic workplace under Daniel Snyder and be very comfortable doing it, where the co-founder of Hooters and other business owners can be in on this hateful chain of insults when they talk about the commissioner and they talk about concussions.
Drafted Michael,
and they talk about
drafted Michael Sam.
Women
referees. Yeah.
Women referees. Barack Obama, of course.
Right.
Joe Biden,
naturally.
So they want to
check
talk about all these things. But that's a network. That's the Good Old Boys Network, where they're just very comfortable doing this. And Jon Gruden working for ESPN, writing from his personal account, writing to his buddies in corporate America, not down the street, corporate America here, writing these thoughts. But how about the network that hired him? Now, I'm not saying ESPN understood who Jon Gruden was. I got a larger point here.
Oh, you could.
I think,
hey, you could.
Right.
And I take no qualms with that. I take no qualms with you suggesting that there are some like-minded people at the highest levels of that company. Take no qualms.
Sure.
No argument here.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. But what I'm saying is this, Mike. Just as there are folks in the NFL who are working their way up, the best way they know. They're not connected. They're not in that little email chain. They don't know. Maybe they are earnestly, naively trying to do the job one way when they don't even know that, oh, no. This is not how decisions are made. Decisions are made on these email chains. Decisions are made in this little group. and we'll let in who we want to let in, but it's very rarely based on merit. So
Right.
just like there are folks in the NFL who are trying to get in, who are trying to get promoted, scouts and coaches and general managers and people trying to break into ownership, there are people in broadcasting who are trying to do the same thing. And I'm just saying.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
ESPN, take this, and every other network, not just ESPN, every other network.
Every other
just
company.
Pause the next time. Right. Pause the next time you see a big shiny name, a big name, and say, well, they have been fired from the NFL. Hey, why don't we just bring them in without vetting them, without checking their resume, without talking to people who know them? We'll just bring them in and hire them because they're a big name. Well, you got it.
Well, Michael,
you got what you deserve.
Hold on.
You got what you deserve.
Wait a minute. You being awfully presumptuous here. You being awfully presumptuous unintentionally about the fact that the vetting process, even if it had revealed these, let's just call them character flaws, would have been some kind of a deterrent.
Yeah.
True. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like I told you, like they travel in packs. Like this dude wasn't alone. Again, he wasn't emailing himself. And if this is what he emailed, what do you think he said? What do you think was said to him? That's why transparency is essential if the NFL really wants to, wait for it, inspire change. Let's go to break.
Yeah. Hey, listen,
we got more company on the other side.
Before we go to break,
you can do it over the music.
Two more things. Yeah. Two more quick things. As the music plays, two more things. Lift every voice and sing out your mouth. Okay. Keep it out your mouth. Keep it out your mouth. That's one. This league. Leave it alone. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Two, I'd be very careful. You talk about the racist rescue squad. I'd be very careful about defending Jon Gruden when, as we said one more time, the 650,000 emails. We haven't heard all of them yet. As bad as it is now, we haven't heard.
They're not all here.
And seen.
I think we've heard all of Jon Gruden's email. I can't imagine
I don't think we have.
that something was not leaked.
I don't think we have.
No? Wow. Oh my God.
I don't think we have.
Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you.
So
right.
I would just.
I think they're standing down.
Show some restraint.
I think they're
show
standing
some restraint.
down now. You gotta let it play out.
Throw a little wisdom.
You gotta let it play out.